everyone, Kristina here. Welcome to day 9 of the holiday card series for 2014. Today I'm starting out with this background stamp from Hero Arts and Basic Gray, and I'm going to be stamping it on some red cardstock. This is Schoolhouse Red from Simon Says Stamp. I'm scoring it at 5.5 inches. This is going to create a top folding card. So I just folded down that cardstock, and now I'm inking up the background stamp. I'm using Schoolhouse Red ink from Simon Says Stamp. I'm using the same color of ink as the cardstock so that I get a tone-on-tone effect. And I'm inking up the background stamp with it face up, and I'll be pressing that cardstock onto the stamp. This is my favorite way of stamping background stamps because I find I have a little bit more control over the stamping, and I also get a better impression. So after I press the cardstock down onto the stamp, I cover it with a piece of scratch paper and use my hand to press that cardstock onto the stamp very evenly. I go over all the different areas of the stamp, and then when I pull off the cardstock, I have a really great impression of that background stamp. Next, I'm die cutting the word Christmas from this Paper Smooches Christmas Words 2 die set. I'm using some Neenah Solar White 80-pound cardstock, and I've cut the word Christmas 3 times. I'm going to do some stamping now using the Decorate a Tree stamp set from Hero Arts. I'm going to be stamping these circle letters all in a straight line. To help me get those in a straight line, I'm using a T-square ruler and drawing on a line. This will serve as a guide while I do my stamping. And I'm also going to be embossing those letters, and to make sure I don't have any stray embossing powder sticking to areas where I don't want it, I'm testing the cardstock to make sure that everything's completely dry. I'm glad I tested it because it was not completely dry. So then I heat set it with my heat tool and also applied some powder using the EK6S powder tool. This is going to ensure that I have a really clean embossing area on my card. So I took each one of those letters and used some Versamark ink to stamp those right on the front of this card. I started with the letter H because that is right after the center of the word, and then worked out from there. This helps me get a more centered word on the card. After I had all of those letters stamped, I applied some Hero Arts white embossing powder and then shook off the excess. There were still some areas that had the embossing powder stuck to it, so I took a dry brush and brushed off those areas to get rid of the embossing powder. I generally like to avoid having to do this. That's why I did that test run, but it did it anyway, so I ended up cleaning up those areas. To stack the different die cuts, I applied small dots of Tombow Mono multi-glue right on top and then put another die cut on top. I like to use a liquid glue for this because it allows a little bit of time to slide that die cut around to make sure that it's lined up just perfectly. So I had 3 layers, and after I had the 3rd layer adhered on top, I put some dots on the back of the word and then pressed it right down onto the front of the card. I then took a white gel pen and drew some dash lines all around the outside edge. This is because I had quite a bit of white on the very bottom of the card, and it needed something to have, to draw the rest of the card into the design. I then took Ranger enamel accents in white and went over the entire Christmas die cut word. This adds quite a bit of dimension and some shine to that die cut. And even though when you look at it right now and hold it up to the light, it looks quite a bit puffy, it will still look like that, but as it dries, it does flatten out just a little bit. And that is the card for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will be back on Monday for day 10 of the holiday card series. Thanks so much for watching. Thank you for watching until the very end of the video. On screen right now are 5 more holiday card videos for you to check out. They are all day 9 videos from the previous 5 years of the holiday card series. So if you'd like some more holiday card inspiration, please click on any of these right now and you will be taken to those particular cards. Thanks again for watching, and I will catch you guys next time.